My friend, most men get ghosted in the first 3 days, and they never understand why. But what you're about to learn in this video, it flips the entire game. I'm going to show you exactly how to create tension, attraction, and emotional pull before she ever gets a chance to get bored. And in number 6, I'll reveal the one move that makes her feel like she finally met a man she can't figure out, but can't stop thinking about. Let's begin. 1. The instant availability mistake. You think being responsive makes you respectful, but to her, it tells a different story. You're not in demand, so you're always available. You text her back the moment she replies. You show up on time, answer her calls, always say yes to her plans. You thought, finally, she likes me. But instead of getting closer, she pulls back. Your conversations dry up, her texts slow down. Suddenly, you're left asking yourself, what did I do wrong? Women aren't turned off by kindness, they're turned off by predictability. In the first 3 days, she's not just looking at who you are, she's feeling whether she'll get addicted or just entertained. Instant replies kill suspense, and suspense is the trigger for obsession. The more predictable your energy is, the less she feels compelled to chase it. Most men think being hyper-present proves their value, but you're not showing confidence, you're broadcasting availability. You trained her to see you as free time, not real value. You gave her access without making her earn your attention. Be present, but rare. Let her wonder why you're not replying instantly. Not to play games, but to show that your time is earned, not handed out. You move with focus, direction, and purpose, and she's lucky to witness it. Because when your time feels earned, your presence becomes priceless. 2. The over-validation trap. You told her she was beautiful. You said you've never met someone like her. You even hinted that she's not like other girls. It felt smooth in the moment. But what you didn't realize, every compliment you gave her pulled her further away. In the first 3 days, validation isn't attraction, it's confirmation. And the moment she feels confirmed too quickly, the emotional mystery dies. There's no reward, no question mark, no rise in value. You've handed her the win before she even had to earn it. And for high-demand women, that feels cheap. Here's what's happening deep down. When you over-validate early, she doesn't feel chosen. She feels like you're just another man trying to lock her down. It's not personal, it's not evil, it's instinct. And the faster you pedestal her, the faster she questions your frame. If he's giving me this much praise so soon, who else does he talk to like this? Most men think compliments equal chemistry, but they skip the one thing women actually crave: emotional calibration. She wants to feel seen, not sold to. She wants to feel desired, not worshipped. And when you flood her with approval before she's earned it, it flips the polarity. Instead, compliment with tension. If she looks good, say it once, with weight. And then pull back. Tease her a little. Let your silence speak more than your words. Make her feel like she unlocked something rare, not that you give it freely to everyone. Because when your validation feels exclusive, your attention becomes addictive. 3. The overshare spiral. You think honesty builds connection, so you tell her about your childhood, your last breakup, your goals, your pain. You think, this will show her I'm different, that I'm open, real, mature. But instead of bonding deeper, she goes cold. And once again, you have no idea why. Here's the truth. Oversharing too early isn't vulnerability. It's emotional dumping disguised as connection. And to her, it feels rushed, like you're trying to speedrun intimacy instead of letting it build naturally. In the first 3 days, she doesn't want to know everything about you. She wants to discover you, piece by piece, layer by layer. That's what makes it exciting. But when you hand her your emotional life story too fast, there's no suspense left, no chase, no intrigue, no earned moments. The real reason most men overshare, it's not confidence, it's covert approval seeking, a way to say, see, I'm deep, I'm trustworthy, you can like me now. But she doesn't feel pulled in. She feels pressured to validate you emotionally before she even knows if she's into you. Instead, hold your depth. Don't dump it. Let her feel the weight of your presence before the contents of your past. Let her wonder why you're calm, stable, and unmoved. Drop one small detail. Let her pull the next one out. Because when a woman works to learn you, she values what she learns. And the more she values it, the more she starts investing. So speak less and let your energy say more. That's how you go from forgettable to unforgettable. My friend, if you're starting to realize how many of these patterns you've been doing without noticing, good. That means you're waking up. So here's a question for you. What's one thing you used to think attracted women that you now realize was pushing them away? Drop it in the comments, not just for you, but for the next guy scrolling who needs to hear it. And if you're feeling this breakdown so far, smash that like button, because the next few points will change the way you show up with every woman you meet. 4. The predictable presence. She knows you'll call, she knows you'll text, she knows what you'll say, when you'll say it, and exactly how the date will go. And at first, that felt safe to her. But now, it's boring. Women don't get bored because you're a good guy. They get bored because you become a routine. And in the first 3 days, routine is death. You're not a memory yet. You're not even a story. You're just another man running a first date script she's seen 100 times. Here's what most men don't get. Predictability doesn't build security at the beginning, it builds complacency. And the moment a woman can predict your next move, she emotionally checks out. Why? Because when there's no uncertainty, there's no emotional gravity. You're easy to understand and easy to forget. Most guys think they're being respectful by planning everything clean, asking polite questions, avoiding offense. But what they're doing is removing all emotional texture. There's no tension, no surprise, no edge. She's not waiting for your next move. She's counting down the minutes until it ends. Here's how you flip it. Interrupt your pattern. Take her somewhere she didn't expect. Say something playful when she thought you'd be serious. End the conversation early. Don't drag it just to keep her engaged. Make her feel like she's discovering a man who's not easy to figure out. Not because he's confusing, but because he's not trying to impress. When she senses that you're in your own rhythm and she has to catch up, boredom disappears and curiosity takes its place. 5. The approval check-in. You text her, "Had fun last night." No reply. So a few hours later, "Did I say something wrong?" And just like that, you've killed the spark. Not because you weren't kind, but because you placed your sense of self in her hands. Here's what women feel the second you check for approval early. He's more into my reaction than who he is. And once she senses that, she goes from curious to cautious, and from cautious to disinterested. The approval check-in is emotional self-sabotage. It reveals that you're uncertain about your own value and need her to confirm it. And even if she was interested, that moment makes her question, if I already have power over his emotions this early, what happens when I lose interest? Most men don't realize it's not what they say, it's where it's coming from. The second she feels like you're watching her for signs of acceptance, the polarity dies. You become the follower, she becomes the chooser, and the attraction flips. So what do you do instead? You replace validation seeking with masculine groundedness. You assume interest, not out of arrogance, but from self-respect. You lead interactions with a calm, directed energy. And if she doesn't respond, you move on, not as punishment, but because a man who knows his worth doesn't wait around for a maybe. When you stop looking for her green light, you become the spark that turns her red light green. 6. The attention flood. You wake up. She's on your mind. You reply to her stories, like her pics, drop a good morning text, send a meme later, then follow up just to keep the convo going. You think you're showing effort, but to her, you're flooding her nervous system with predictable attention, and every drop makes you easier to ignore. Most women won't block you for this. They'll just emotionally ghost you. She won't tell you you're coming on too strong. She'll just stop feeling that spark. Because attention without tension feels like a job, not a chase. What most men don't realize is that attention is not attraction. Attraction lives in absence as much as presence. It's the pause between the texts. It's the space between moments that makes her wonder. And without that space, you smother the emotional arc before it even begins. Why do men flood attention early? Because they're afraid. Afraid she'll forget about them. Afraid another guy will steal her. Afraid they're not enough unless they're always visible. But what she wants isn't constant reminders of you. She wants to feel your gravity, not your grasp. So what should you do instead? Let your attention be felt, not forced. Message with impact, not frequency. Be the man who interrupts her day, not one who's embedded in it like background noise. When you hold back just enough to keep her guessing, she starts leaning in. And when she starts reaching out without you pushing, you've flipped the dynamic, and now you're the one who's unforgettable. 7. The no-mission energy. She asks, "So what are you working on these days?" You hesitate, then say something vague, a side project, a general idea. You say you're figuring it out, and in that moment, she's out. Not because you're broke, not because you're confused, but because your energy has no direction. And direction is what makes masculine energy magnetic. In the first 3 days, she doesn't need to know your 5-year plan, but she needs to feel one thing: you're moving, that you're pulled by something bigger than her, and she's just stepping into the orbit. When a man has no mission, no clarity, no obsession beyond her, she doesn't feel chosen, she feels trapped. Because deep down, every high-value woman wants to align with a man who's already on his path, not build one for him. The biggest mistake men make isn't laziness, it's emotional stillness. You're not dangerous, you're not mysterious, you're not interesting. Because you don't move like a man with purpose. You move like a man waiting for someone else to give him one. So what should you do? You reclaim your obsession. You don't need to have it all figured out. But you need to burn for something. Whether it's a business, a craft, a skill, a goal, your energy should point forward. Because when a woman feels that forward energy, she either aligns with it or drifts away. And either outcome leaves you stronger. Because the moment your energy belongs to a mission, she no longer becomes your purpose. She becomes your reward. Most men think she gets bored because she's not ready or not serious. But the truth, she gets bored because she's already seen your type. She's seen the over-texting, the emotional dumping, the chase with no mystery, the man with no direction. But that's not who you are anymore, not after this video. Now you understand how women feel emotional chemistry in the first 3 days. You understand how to create space, tension, and momentum without chasing. You understand that being unforgettable isn't about what you give her. It's about the man you withhold for the right one. So the next time you meet a girl with potential, don't play it safe. Don't play it perfect. Play it real, masculine, directed, controlled. Because now you know she'll get bored fast if you don't do this in the first 3 days.